Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy, Kupz the Universe. You already know. Poet Lounge, aka PD Mossberg. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn native. You know what I'm saying? Um, Salute to everybody out there. Hope everybody's doing well. You know what I'm saying? Hope all is good with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Hope y'all finding peace with yourself. So this is a quick little realization. Now I want the people like, in gangs, in all gangs, and just black brothers, young and old alike, to understand what I'm saying. All right? Now, check the chess play, right? You had before the COVID, you had people saying domestic terrorists, right? Then there was black identity extremists, right? Now, black identity extremists was people that was feeling like their religion, their chosen people, they skin color, right? So it was like, yo, BIE, right? So it was like black identity extremists. So he was trying to get you for like learning and having pride in what you learned. Basically saying like, yo, you know what I'm saying, black man is God or whatever. They was feeling they was getting offended by that. Before that, it was the domestic terrorists. That was the way to try to remember, America and the government cannot attack the citizens. Remember, the government, powers that be, work for the people. You have to remember this, no matter how much they make it seem like it's not the case. All right? So that was already a no-go, right? Fast forward to pandemic time, right? Now, you see a lot of crime, a lot of things happening, right? There was a lot of people grouping together, right? A lot of crews, what I would call them, three-letter crews, not gangs. Gangs is like more formal, but I mean, they're gangs too, so salute to them, right? Three-letter crews is what we used to call them back in the day. They was like the alternative to being in a gang, basically, in the 90s, early 90s and such. So boom, now we in the pandemic. So now you have where in law, I believe this is signed into a law now too. They're just not actively enforcing on it yet. They said, okay, gang members are now classified as terrorists, right? So I don't think a lot of people, like a lot of y'all young brothers that just want to like group up together for like unity, for like companionship, for like camaraderie, you know what I'm saying? To be a part of something, to feel like you belong in something, right? They got you flagged as terrorists. So what is a terrorist? A terrorist is a person that causes terror, right? You remember all of the terrorists, the main terrorist activity would have been the 9/11 joint. We all know about 9/11. We're not even going to go there right now. But just know, the 9/11 was the thing that was like, okay, terrorists are now a problem. And then they put the cameras up. And then you see what I'm saying? So they got into your privacy based on the assumption that they could be terror threats, right? Now, pay attention. So now they got gang members. There's not even any particular gang. It can be anything. They call a group of people a gang. They call a group of four or more people a gang. So you don't even have to be in a gang to be considered a terrorist if it's for you guys and you're doing something that they don't like. You see what I'm saying? But the crime is something that they use too to get get their votes. So okay, so now we understand fully that there's a law in place right now in Congress. You know what I'm saying? It's not a constitutional law, of course not, but it's a law, right? That the both parties, Democrats, Republicans agreed upon, stating that gang members are terrorists. Now, phase two of their chess play, right? Remember when they used to have mass shootings all the time, and the mass shootings would be like a white guy, and he'd shoot up like a post office. It started with the post office people. That's why they was like, yo, he going postal. Because the post office people had events where the guy will go into work and shoot a few people or shoot a boss or, some stupid shit. I mean, all this is obviously emotional lack of control, but that's understandable, right? So then you had the white people running up in places, shooting stuff up. Then they started having black people doing it. Now, mind you, the difference between the white people that was active shooters and the black people that was active shooters is that the white people end up getting arrested no matter how many people they shot, and the black people end up dead no matter what they did. So any black terrorist that you seen on the news, active shooter, they get shot dead. Sniper, boom, on deck, something dead, right? The Muslim brothers that was in I forgot what state, but you know, with the trucks and they ran into the building, it was a Jewish thing, whatever, right? That's the example of how black people, when they do that stuff, they end up dead. And then the white people, like the one that just shot up Buffalo, New York, who went in the store, shot unarmed old black people, told the white person like, yo, I'm sorry, walked past him, shot more black people, and then they had to get a negotiator on the scene to negotiate this white guy from killing himself. So I just want you to understand that you know, that oddness, or you know, that lack of evenness, or that lack of, you know what I'm saying, is not equal, right? So now, boom, if you go fast forward now, you know, there's been a lot of crimes, a lot of shootings, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the young brothers out there shooting everything up and shit, you know what I'm saying? I understand they have a lot of rage in their heart. I understand they don't feel like they're loved. They don't feel, you know, I understand. So I understand what brings people to those type of behaviors. But check this out. If you notice now, those type of crimes are being classified as active shootings. So you got brothers riding to a club to bang on, you know what I'm saying, somebody that's in an opposite gang. Now, mind you, these two gangs are considered terrorists. So this is like a terrorist war in the law eyes, because this is what they put up. But now when you shooting, right, and two people shooting at each other, whatever, and a person gets shot and like three other people injured or something like that, now that's considered a mass shooting, which makes you an active shooter. You're not no longer a shooter, like a criminal shooter. You're an active shooter. You're a terrorist committing terrorism. You understand? That's where that's going. That's why now you see in Harlem, in different areas, that this happens in black neighborhoods where they're calling it mass shootings also now, right? So, check it out. What's phase 3 of this chess play? What's phase 3? Have y'all not noticed that they've been on the news talking about, oh, criminals are getting this lenient sentencing. Criminals are getting bonds. Criminals are this leniency must stop. Right? That's how they thinking. So what they're gonna try to do is, because they already classified somebody as a terrorist and they classified their crimes as mass shootings. You got terrorist squad on these people investigating now. You got feds, of course, investigating, you know, organized crime units and things of that nature. You got state police investigating. You see what I'm saying? And what they're going to do is they're going to use the crimes that you're doing, all these shootings that you're doing, because y'all have all these innocent bystanders put into the harm's way, right? What's going to end up happening is they're going to turn around and say, okay, we want to give these type of people extreme amounts of time. So it's going to get to a point where you're not even getting state or fed time. Because when they take terrorists to jail, they go to Guantanamo Bay. In Guantanamo Bay, you're arrested in there. You can't complain about the mistreatment in there. They could feed you goulash. They could feed you lint and dust and liquid, and you wouldn't be able to tell a soul. They can lock you in there and have you in there for the rest of your life and never tell anybody where you're arrested at, because that's what they do with terrorists. Terrorists, they can arrest you and never let people know where you at and never release you from detainment either, because it's more of like a black op kind of situation, like a secret thing, because terrorists is like, you know what I'm saying, like extremes, right? So the next step is going to be, they're going to show y'all crimes to all of the innocent people that want to just live regular life, which they have a right to. And all of these people that's going to watch it is guaranteed to be the taxpayers, the business owners, the homeowners, all the people with some kind of say, not people that's just loitering on the street and claiming that they own the street, but don't own a deed, but don't pay the land tax. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, all of those people are gonna agree with the news. You see how the news do? The news will play it the way they want it to be played for the agenda. So they got the gun agenda, which they always had, but y'all making it easier for them to really go hard on the gun agenda. And they're gonna have the people vote those extreme laws against y'all. Because in these 3 years, in these 2 years, 3 years, you know what I'm saying, since the pandemic, they got enough video footage to show that it's terrorizing people. You got people that say, yo, they feel terrorized and unsafe. It's happening on the trains. It's happening in anywhere you go. You almost got to carry your own weapons. I be telling people, carry your own weapons. It don't have to be guns in states that guns are illegal. But it ain't illegal to carry a metal pipe with you. It's not illegal. It's not a crime. You just got to know how to holster it correctly. And it's not a crime. You know what I'm saying? And then you use and it's not a crime to defend yourself either. As much as the police try to make it sound like if you fight for your defense, that you are just as bad as the person that assaulted you. Because crime and cops, they don't care about right or wrong. They just want to lock as many people up as possible. So you can be in a situation where you're forced to defend yourself honestly. They may give you a lighter sentence, but you still can get sentenced. Shit, there's some cases where a criminal will come into somebody's house. The person in the house beat them up bad because they broke into their house and they have the right to. And then the criminal that broke into the house press charges and sue the person that owns the house and win. So do not think that it's like the system is just for protecting good people. It's just to arrest people. That's it. Good, bad, don't matter. You know what I'm saying? And I want to show y'all this because it's like, yo, I don't think brothers really look at things like this. So when you hear them put it in a stricter sentencing practice for criminals that they consider these type of violent criminals, right? That's what they calling them now, right? Understand what's gonna happen next. After that, they coming. When they come, they coming. They're coming. They're giving people like all kinds of outrageous time based on the fact that they're gonna use, well, according to this law, this proves that this group of people are considered terrorists under this law, under this that we put, probably in the Patriot Act. And then it's like, okay, because of said crimes, and because of them being classified as terrorists instead of just regular criminals, then we can say that these shootings are now mass shootings, which hold a greater time to it. And then once they say, well, no bail, no bond, and all that, and they can get you with the harsh sentencing, they can give you life. They can give you death penalty. Now they might not do the death penalty because people will be like, well, that's not right. But if enough people be like, yeah, kill them, then they'll fuck around and give you the death penalty because people will sit there and watch somebody else get killed because they felt like they did them wrong, and then God be looking at everybody like y'all all stupid because I don't want nobody to get killed. You see what I'm saying? So it's just funny how sometimes people of God view things. You know what I'm saying? But much love to everybody because not everybody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? I just want to get that message out to a lot of you youth out there, a lot of the young people, and even some of the old people that might not know about this situation. You already see what happened to Young Thug's whole camp. Like, they're not playing. Okay? They don't have mobsters no more to search after. They don't have the Al Capones no more to chase down. So y'all gonna become the public enemy number one. And in that case, they can harass you to the point of how they want to. You see what I'm saying? And it's no way they can say no. See, because when you're dealing with terrorists versus state and federal regular laws and stuff, it's like almost outside of the jurisdiction. So they kind of deal with you differently. So if they can pin you out to be that, they can give you time in Guantanamo if they really wanted to, and you really wouldn't be able to say nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I just want y'all to get this in your heads. They already took the word gang and classified it with the word terrorist in law. Like, it's not like a constitutional law. It's not an actual, but it's something that they pushing for, right? And it's something that's more in going through than like the gun laws. The gun laws are not really going through for them. You know, Republicans fight that. People want their guns. Some people don't like guns. So that's more of a balanced argument. But with this other thing, this like they agree on it. So just know, gangs are classified as terrorists, and to some prosecutors, they will go that far to prosecute you. Shootings that everybody is doing, drills, spinning, all that shit, right? They're gonna classify it as not just regular random shooting. They're gonna classify it as mass shootings. You understand? It has a deeper sentencing time to it. And then once they get the lenient sentencing out there, out of the way, where it's like you can't get bail, you can't get bond, they don't gotta care about your constitutional rights and all this nonsense that's the only thing that be stopping them from violating us as a people altogether. Be honest with you. And yo, one more thing. There's a lady that's talking about she want to change the diction of the language in the Constitution, the 14th Amendment that states that criminals, you know, you're not a slave unless you're arrested as a criminal, right? And I would agree with that. But the only difference and the only reason why I say don't touch nothing in that paper is because these people are the type of people that if you give them an inch, they're going to take a yard, then a mile, then continue going. So none of you have the authority. No public official really has the authority to change that doctrine. That doctrine is set in stone. That constitutional document is set in stone. Whatever language is in it is in it. So I don't like slavery either. I don't like oppressors and oppressed people like that. So what I'm saying is, instead of going after the Constitution, go after the prisons. Let's educate and give things for people to do other than get locked up. So then that way nobody has to be treated like a slave, and you don't have to change the constitutional text because ain't nobody going to jail. You understand what I'm saying? It's simple as that. Change the behavior. Don't change the text. Fuck it. And I know that sounds crazy because I'm not on the side of slavery, but I understand that once they change one text in that text that they can never change, they're going after the Second Amendment. They're going after the First Amendment. You will have military niggas occupying your homes. You won't have the right to plead the Fifth no more. You understand? So all public officials, none of you have the right to change the Constitution regardless of what text, including the 14th Amendment, even though I don't agree with the text of it. But we're going to deal with that from a criminal aspect by making people no longer want to be criminal. Those who want to, they do. But those that don't, won't. You see what I'm saying? So that's how we look at that. That's how I look at that. It's your boy Kupz the Universe, Poet Lounge, aka P.D. Mossberg. Go check out some of my new freestyles. I just dropped 2 freestyles. They're real powerful, real educational too in the sense of spirit. All right? You take care. Everybody have a good one. And wholeness.